Cash is everything. Cash is king. We cannot survive without cash and we need tons of it. If this is your thought process, you're completely with me. But then there is a little bit of soul searching that is required when we think this way. Our school system does not teach us some of the most essential life lessons, including money management. The little bit that we have heard since we were kids. Any guesses? If your instinct is to go down to the comment section and start typing things like invest, budget, live below your means, never get into debt, you'd be completely wrong. If that's what you had learned when you were kids, you're well ahead of the rest of us. What we did here was don't spend money, put it into your little piggy bank and save your money. Save, save, save. Now I'm not saying saving money is wrong. Saving money is good. But to what extent? You see, the problem with saving the money is that your money stays there. It doesn't grow. But when you think about it logically, you'll know that what you can buy today for $100 is not something that you can afford for $100 in a few months' time. How do we know this? Just think back to a few years. How much did a sandwich cost 5 years back? How much did fuel cost 5 years back? In fact, let's take it a step further. The price of Apple's shares used to cost in the mid $50 range just 5 years back. And today, it costs over $240. This means that you were able to buy one Apple share for $50 odd 5 years back, and you cannot buy 1/4 of an Apple share for that same price today. So if you had saved that $50 5 years back, hoping to buy your Apple share in a few years' time, you're out of luck. Let me give you another example. I've always been a car guy, and my favorite two cars have always been the Ford Mustang and the BMW M3. Now the BMW M3 was a little bit out of my price range, but I always thought that I could save up and buy the Ford Mustang. Now I saved for many months, many years to be able to afford that Mustang, but I'm sure you've guessed where I'm going with this example. By the time I managed to save enough money to be able to afford that Mustang, I go into the dealership and they tell me the car has pretty much doubled in price and I need to go back home and start saving again to be able to afford it. And you can relate this to anything that you wanted to purchase. Is it a house? Is it gold? Whatever it may be, the prices keep going up. This is called inflation. So if you think that you can put aside $1 million when you're 20 years old and that will be enough to retire in 40 years time when you're 60 years old, you're very sadly mistaken. Prices are going to keep going up and $1 million in 40 years time is going to mean nothing. So why did I say I'm not saying don't save money? Because saving is important. The question of this video is how much cash is too much cash. I recommend that you do save money, but that is only for short-term expenses. If you're going to go on a vacation in 6 months' time, save money for that. If you don't have enough cash in your emergency fund, which should be typically about 6 months of expenses, then save money in your emergency fund. If you're a very conservative person, don't like to take risks, and are scared of losing money by investing, by all means, keep contributing to a liquid fund like a deposit fund in your bank or whatever. But to that conservative person, I say, don't put all of your money into savings alone. You can keep contributing, provided that is a small portion of your monthly savings/investment portion. What you want to do is once you have your emergency funds, your goals-based savings, and your little excess towards your conservativeness, then put all of the other money into some form of investments. And based on your age, you need to diversify that investment portfolio. The younger you are, you can take more risks and afford to invest in higher risk investments. The older you get, dial down on the higher risk investments and increase your lower risk investments and your cash flow rich investments. Now, if you're asking what is cash flow rich investments, It can be something like dividend stocks or real estate that is giving you rental income. Also, it is important to make sure that if you are on the older side, get rid of all your debt, including mortgages, as soon as possible. Because there's no real point if you have a ton of real estate where you're getting rental income from, but all of that rental income is going back to mortgage payments. The idea is to retire where you have some form of income coming in constantly. And that income should be enough to cover your expenses at the time of retirement. Now think and answer for yourself. Is the amount you're just saving going to save you during your retirement? I'll catch you in the next one.